Good morning, everybody. Friday morning and second last day of our public access season. It's always a bittersweet time of year. We're sort of changing what we do. It's not stopping work, it's just changing the type of work that we do. The sailing this week has been really light. There's a big high pressure system sitting over top of us and sort of 4 knots of wind, and that leads to lots of motor sailing out in Lunenburg Bay. Happily there's porpoise and seals out there for us to see, and as always the scenery in Felton South and Blue Rocks is spectacular. So still worth going out in the bay and having a poke around. So tomorrow's our last day of sailing. So what will happen is as we come in, we will literally start cutting the sails off as we're taking them down. This is a get to work process, and so we take every opportunity we can to get the sails off of her. The first big job that we'll do is lift the mainsail off. That requires everybody. Mainsail weighs about 1,000 pounds. So we'll take the stops off, undo the lace line, unbend the 4 corners, and then hump it up over on the wharf and clean it up. Then we'll lift the main gaff off. We do this particularly at this wharf because we have access. There's bollards on the far side of the wharf where we can hook block and tackle, so it makes it technically easier for us to do. And then soon after that, we will move down to the museum, down behind to our winter berth, behind the museum to protect her from the north winds. And then we'll start taking things off. We'll start with the sails. They've been nice and dry lately, so it's been really good for us to have dry sails to put away for the winter. This is particularly important. And then the booms and gaffs will come off, halyards will come down, blocks will come down. We'll give the masts a really good slush of Vaseline, so it'll help protect them for the winter, keep the moisture out of them. And then all the thousands and thousands of little pieces that have to come off the deck of the ship. Life jackets, deck boxes, life rafts, safety equipment, the dories are put away, the rescue boats put away, and all put into our little rigging shed. If we have time, we quite often get to little projects or do preparatory work for the following year. So we might scrape and prime the dories, we might sand and do a couple of coats of varnish on the spars, might paint up a loft, anything that would make life easier for us to do for the work that we do in the spring. Next spring, there's big excitement in the sailing world, and Sail GP has announced that they're coming to Halifax June 1st and 2nd, sponsored by Rockwool Canada. So really huge thing in the sailing world for this really fast-paced racing to be really spectator available. So that'll be hopefully a big thing in Halifax the 1st and 2nd of June, and we're really hoping that we can partake in that. So that puts a real push on us that we have to be ready and sailing and licensed by the 1st and 2nd of June next year. So to have that in the back of our minds of what we want to do and what we want to accomplish this fall and how we're going to do things in the spring. So for now, there's still tickets available, I think, for the last couple of cruises if you want to come. And we'll see you along the waterfront.